Scotland make a mixed start to World Cup qualifying, but can the Tartan Army dream of a Qatari party? It's countdown for Scott Brown at Celtic as we give the lowdown on new faces in the Pittodrie dugout. Gareth Bale gives up the great elbow of justice, and Hearts turn into hearts as they're knocked out of the Scottish Cup by fifth table Royal Rangers. It's episode 15 of the False Scientist podcast. With me today we've got Andy, Marcus and Kyle. How are we doing tonight, guys?
Right.
Just as we record at the moment, Scotland have about 10 minutes into their game against the Faroe Islands. John McKinn has them 1-0 up at the moment, so we're going to have updates throughout the podcast, but obviously when you're listening you can know what's going on. But we'll get back to Scotland's first qualifier for the World Cup in Qatar. A 2-2 draw with Austria at Hampden.
Disappointing. A point is a fair result, but Austria weren't as good as I thought they would be, and I think that we could have taken more from the game. But
yeah,
not awful. Not an awful result.
I think it was a game we could have won. We were so much better in the second half, but it was too little, too late. We were good at the end of both halves. We were good because we were getting pumped a bit right at the start of the game, and we took too long to get into the game. And I think if we just scored earlier in the game, I think we could have seen it out. But
yeah, we had the
shame that we didn't.
There was a big chance at the end of the first half where Ryan Christie just completely fluffed it. It was a gilded edge chance for him, where Schlager gave the ball to Dykes, just gave it away, and Dykes laid it off to Christie, and he couldn't put it away, which was a real chance to go ahead. But no.
Yeah, that's the kind of game where I think if Scotland go 1-0 up at any point, then we're getting something for that. It's the fact we had to chase it all the time with Austria. But no, I was expecting a lot more from Austria, if I'm being fair. I don't think they were bad. I'm not slating them or anything, but I thought they would be more dominant in the game, more dominant in possession. But actually, I think the chances in possession were pretty even.
I think that Scotland and Austria are basically the two teams who are going to be fighting it out for that playoff spot.
I disagree. I think Israel is going to be up there with us because I thought they were more impressive than Austria.
So have we written off Denmark to win the group then?
Yeah, I mean it's a question, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, if you're winning 8-0, you should probably be the group winner.
I think the teams we're discarding are Moldova and the Faroe Islands and someone else. Yeah, that's it. So it's going to be Denmark will run away with it. It's going to be really tight with our three: Austria, Scotland, Israel. So I think, in hindsight, like I said, the draw was a good result with Austria, but I think drawing both of those games is poor. I think we needed to win at least one.
Yeah, I think if we took 4 points from the opening two games, would have been more.
We'd be on better course. Yeah, I think that gives us the early lead because now Austria they've jumped over us. I mean, yes, they had the easier draw against the Faroe Islands, but in their second match, which maybe will give more winning momentum to the third match. But I think Scotland should have beaten them or Israel, one of the two of the matches, and then. I mean, there's no reason we couldn't have got 6, but at least one of those opponents is quite difficult for us. So I think we should have taken the initiative, got the 4 points, and been hot on Denmark's heels.
Oh, yeah, to bring it back. 2 goals from Sasha Kaladzic for Austria. It was quite impressive up front. Some of the big clubs in Europe having a look at him, the Stuttgart striker. But Grant Hanley pulled it back when it was 1-0 with a good header from an O'Donnell free kick. It was a surprise he was in the squad in the first place for Grant Hanley. And then managed to make the first starting 11 and then onto the score sheet as well. And then the second goal for Scotland, again tying the scores up after a Kaladzic goal, was John McGinn.
With that beauty.
What a goal. It should have been the winner. Imagine if that was to win the game. Oh,
get our World Cup qualifying off to an absolute stormer.
John McGinn equalising the score. It was a beautiful overhead kick. It's a shame, as you said, it wasn't a winning goal, or a goal that gave it. But it was a goal that was, good enough for the point, good enough to give us momentum going into the second game at Tel Aviv against Israel. Again, this was one that was a bit tight in the opening games. I think opening stages, I think it was more Israel that dominated.
I think out of the 2 games, we deserved more from the Austria game, but I'd say. I'll take a draw. The way Israel played the second half, especially.
I have to say for this Israel game, it was so good seeing fans back in stadiums. for Tel Aviv. It was just lovely.
Shame they weren't home fans though. Well, they were Israeli home fans. I meant Scottish fans.
They weren't away fans. They brought
But,
yeah,
no Tartan Army, sadly. Not yet, at least.
not yet. But
Yeah. But Israel, they had a few good chances. They were denied by Marshall, and then just to say, it was a really good goal from Peretz just before the break. But David Marshall probably should have done better.
yeah, I was when I first seen it, I thought that's a stunner, and then you look at the replays and realize like it's not right in the corner. It's like kind of in the middle of the goal. So yeah, I probably should have done better with it, but it's a decent strike. All you have to do is get in target, and then
Yeah, I think Israel Scotland kind of kept them at bay in the opening stages, and then reduced them to shots from distance, and that led to that goal. But it was after the break that Scotland kind of poked up a bit. Che Adams, he had a good game against Israel. He didn't start against Austria, but he started against Israel, and I think he was quite an impressive player. I think he'd be a good addition to the Scotland squad going forward.
he set up Fraser's goal as well. He did really well for that goal. Nice wee bit of footwork. Yeah, unlike Christie, who would have just squaffed it. So, yeah.
Yeah, you heard the news about Ryan Christie.
Christie wouldn't have taken the shot because he would have been too close to the goal. Only exclusive long shot taker.
Yeah, apparently Ryan Christie's been offered a job by NASA because all of his shots end up in orbit. No reaction there. Okay. Yeah, again, it was a point. This slightly disappointing to take 2 points from 2 games for Scotland. But again, those are the 2 teams that we kind of bang out against. I think it's good that they didn't lose.
Yeah, but we need to beat them. Like you need to beat the team.
1 point just doesn't feel like enough for the amount of effort the boys put in, I think.
Yeah, that's definitely a good way to put it, Andy. Yeah, it depends. I mean, now as well, like the next round of fixtures, we've got Denmark and
the next round of fixtures would be the Euros, but yeah, after that,
in this specific qualifying run, it's Denmark and Austria away, which will be 2 really tough games. So we could really slip behind there if we lose both of those, and then might not be the best outcomes for that, but.
As you say, Israel are ones that could challenge for that playoff spot. They've got some good players as well. That front line of Weissman, Zahavi, and De Boer is just the 3 really good players.
Yeah, I guess we just have to see how their game against Austria goes when they play, and then sort of sets the pace.
Because at the moment, Austria are playing Denmark, which will be interesting to see, especially alongside the Scotland result, who gets the points there. Because if Denmark win, that puts us into second. I mean, only after 3 games, but that is.
That's if we beat the Faroe Islands.
Well,
we're on the moment, so
as well. And then the next game is in Vienna, so I think that'll be really tough.
Tough doing that.
Yeah.
But coming back to away from the international game, just after the recording last week, in fact, there was a Scottish Cup fixture. There's quite a few Scottish Cup fixtures, but the main one was Championship Hearts, who have been the Scottish Cup finalists the last couple of years. And the finalists losing to Celtic both times. They played Borough Rangers, the Highland League side, and they lost 2-1.
I'm rubbing my hands. That's, yeah.
I didn't watch it. I can't have any comments on it.
Yep. They heartsed it.
Heartsed it.
Yep, they heartsed it.
No such thing, mate.
They followed it up at the weekend with a 3-2 loss to Queen of the South as well.
What a week to be a Hibs fan. What a week to be alive.
I mean, it'll be a big match, 6-pointer when Hearts play Wraith Rovers in a couple of weeks.
What a massive
at
club.
the end of April, yeah. It's a big game at the weekend.
From those games, did they deserve to go up?
No.
I don't think anyone losing to non-league opposition should deserve to be promoted. at all. In fact,
Unless you're
I
in
think-
non-league as well.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a disaster. Well, I say a bit. It's a complete disaster result.
Did they
from
play
Hearts.
their strongest team against Borough Rangers?
They rotated a few, but it was mostly the strongest team. Like they had, I think, Mackay Stephen and Boyce and that playing. So
Barrow,
Like-
so like
didn't they pay like a big fee for Boyce as well? Yeah. And then they lost to Queen of the South, who hadn't won at Tynecastle in like 60 years or something. So, and then they had a protest,
yeah, protest at the
A
weekend.
mini micro protest
a micro.
with all 10 of their fans.
They were like, aye.
And there were signs all around Gorgie, around the area of the stadium with, well, just like stickers up saying Nielsen and Budge out, which
No,
I think
no
there's-
style, no bottle.
To be fair, Budge has needed to budge for a while.
Yeah.
Excuse the pun.
yeah, the jokes
Yeah.
really aren't landing tonight, are they?
I think.
And Marcus isn't helping, he's just batting him away.
Yeah. Well, do you want me to? I'll let you.
Give us a little chuckle. Cheers. Marcus.
I'll get clipped.
We'll just put like stock, like Big Bang Theory, like crowd laughing noises in there.
Bazinga.
Nah, oh, I lost track of what I was saying.
Slagging Hearts.
Oh, aye. Oh, that's. Yeah, I got there. Yeah, from what I understand, I think Budge was meant to hand over ownership to the Foundation of Hearts last summer, but it was put back by COVID and also the relegation.
Chairman Budge.
Yeah. So I think the plan is she'll step down whenever possible, but I just don't know if it'll be exactly when they come back up. Because I think she wants
If,
to
at
leave.
this rate, if.
I don't think she'll. You know,
I don't see her.
don't think she'll budge.
She's gonna become like Palpatine. I love democracy.
Unlimited power.
Exactly.
Does that make Bobby Nielsen Vader?
Aye, the
Yeah, it must do, surely.
That makes him Count Dooku. He's about to get decapitated any moment.
Count Dooku's Levine because he's been axed already.
Yeah, exactly.
Aye, and then yeah, love these.
It's not looking good for Hearts at the moment, but obviously they've pretty much secured the championship.
Well, have they?
Well, they are.
Pretty much.
They're
it's
10
been-
points clear with but enough games in hand to bottle it.
But yeah,
Wraith
they-
Rovers done one hell of a form. I
Yeah.
actually watched the Wraith Rovers Dunfermline game, the 5-1 Fife Derby, and they were playing like a Premiership side. I mean, every single pass that they put together worked. I mean, they must have had a pass actually up in the 90s. Like, there wasn't a foot they put wrong. Well, I mean, they let Dunfermline score one, but that's expected with the...
Dunfermline are still a decent side.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're up in fifth as well, so they're.
they also won.
They've been Premiership regulars.
However, they're still
Yeah.
closer to the bottom. Dunfermline are closer to the bottom than they are to Hearts. I mean,
Yeah.
Morton have managed to jump out 3 places in the last week on one result. So
If any team's going to catch Hearts, it'll be Wraith. If it be, but like it's
Yeah.
just Dunfermline.
Wraith play nicer football, so I'd rather see them up. I mean, they play nicer football than Hamilton and Kilmarnock, so
Yeah, definitely. No, but Dunfermline can beat Hearts Friday. Like they the last fixture at East End Park between the two, they won. So, and then we all know Hearts struggle. They tend to struggle every time they're playing the Friday night. So just back them to win, and then the gap gets closed again, and then you're thinking, oh, what can happen here? And then I think after that, Kyle, the Hearts that has to become the normal. If they bottle a
Nah,
6,
always be Hibstead, mate. Always will be.
I mean, we've never bottled a 16-point lead at the top of a table, but sure,
Because
man.
we've never been top of a table.
Never lost that side.
let him dream.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yep.
I think it's awful times for Hearts at the moment, and all you can do is laugh because
We must have spent a solid hour just looking at memes last Tuesday.
after the recording when the result came in, I think we spent about an hour, 2 hours just scrolling through Twitter and just laughing at every single meme that came out because losing to. I'm going to stop here and give credit to Borough Rangers because they played a really good game, and obviously they managed to win the game. I think we should give a bit of credit to them as well.
Oh yeah.
Who do they have in the next round?
They got Stranraer.
Oh,
which is, I mean, if they can beat Hearts, they can probably beat Stranraer as well.
Yeah, they weren't even that bad when we played them at Easter Road. They were like causing us. They scored for a good free kick. But yeah, they were like pushing us back all the game. Of course, we won because we can beat Highland League teams. But
It's made even more
was,
impressive the achievement from Brook, given that the Highland League's been off since January or whenever it was,
they've played once since the New Year. Yeah.
which
yeah.
which is incredible. The fact that they haven't been able to play a game and then come out and beat a championship side and the Scottish Cup finalists the past couple of years.
Quote unquote sleeping giant of Scottish football. So yeah, brilliant.
Oh, you're
Love
loving it, Mark, I say.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Hearts of the lad on Tinder who says he's 6 foot when he's only 5'9". Not even close enough to lie.
Did I see that meme right? It was going around Twitter. It was like this guy's Tinder bio, and it says, "I support Hearts, but I'll break yours." And then the caption for the guy posted it was like, "I hope he's okay now." Like, oh, it was funny.
Is there a chance that this is just a not a stumble, but just a blip in Hearts? Because
Should find out.
I mean,
Maybe
Well,
for
they're
the next
really
game.
falling off the rails though. Like, if they weren't already like iffy about Nielsen, then they definitely are now. Like, I've got a Jambo mate that was frothing at the mouth on Twitter like all of last week, non-stop about Robbie Nielsen. So I'm pretty sure they want him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there not protest though?
Was it no? But was he not the Messiah come to bring him back to the glory days and win him a cup? Yada yada yada. Is he not the one that was? I've actually met Robbie Nielsen and he gave me a handshake, so no bad word against him.
yeah, Hearts. I mean, they've had a few iffy results all season. I mean, they started off quite well, and then they've kind of had they've beaten the teams you've expected them to beat, and then but haven't been.
You know something? They've not racked up full points against any team in the league so far. So they've dropped points against at least every single one of the teams in that league.
Which when they dropped down, when there was the whole palaver about them going down last year, they're probably expected to more or less win every game because
I mean, Budge is on tape on that BBC documentary saying, "Yes, I'd like to win them all." How wrong should you be? Nah, I don't think. I mean, even the guy. Well, he's been on the podcast before. The other Kyle, Jambo Kyle. He was like on one of the first episodes we did, but he was saying, I mean, yeah, I don't even expect to win every game, but we should still be comfortable. And like technically they are comfortable, but I think still they've had too many bad results for it to be acceptable. For
Depends how many points you finish on.
probably yeah.
Yeah, because if they finish,
If they finish on less than Red Rovers, they're not going up.
Yeah,
Playoffs. The playoffs.
We do. I mean, it all does depend on what happens Friday because it's 10 points to now. If they lose on Friday and Wraith pick up points, then we're looking at a slip up.
The Wraith won't be playing this weekend. Oh, they won't be playing the championship this week, because they're still in the cup.
Yeah, true.
Still, I mean, they'll have that game in hand though. Still, so there's every chance. So yeah.
And moving from Tynecastle, we're going to go to Pittodrie because there's a new manager appointment we forgot to pick up on last week. Stephen Glass has been finally appointed as Aberdeen manager. Signed from the Atlanta United second team, which is a bit weird, but he's worked at Shamrock Rovers. He's made one Scotland appearance as a player. He played for Newcastle, Watford, and Hibs. It's an interesting appointment, but I think it comes from their association with Atlanta United, their link that they've got there.
Yeah. It is a risky one. It's very similar to Rangers getting Gerrard because he is
hopefully he'll have the similar impact.
a good name. Well, hopefully not. So like, I was gonna say they're both big names. Gerrard is a big name in football, but like Glass is obviously familiar with the club. He's a big name with the fans, and it's a risk in that he doesn't have a lot of managerial experience. Yeah, he's been like an assistant manager and
Yeah.
you'd expect like managers will have to start somewhere, so potentially very good to get somebody new in, somebody with fresh ideas, at that role. So it could be a good appointment.
Yeah,
But fans will have to be really patient with him, I think.
Yeah,
Just like Rangers had to be with Gerrard.
he managed
They'll have to,
38 games for Atlanta United, second team in the lower divisions of American football, with winning just 9, and then was interim coach at the actual full team for a bit. Played 19 games and only won 5. So it's tough not to read into that. But then again,
Well,
it's
there was a
only-
change in club structure quite recently at Atlanta, and their very successful managers that they'd had for their inaugural couple seasons had been ousted, and they had a new system installed. They much more plan on promoting in youth and recruiting from South America and stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's worked for them so far. But I'd like to see how. Obviously, Stephen Glass is part of that new system, so I'm not sure how he's potentially. He might try to replicate some sort of system like that in Aberdeen, because I know they're looking to shake up the youth team. They're still planning on that new stadium, so we'll see how it goes.
Talking about shake-ups at Aberdeen, Stephen Glass has appointed his assistant manager, and it's Celtic Scott Brown.
I think it's an odd one because we all expected Brown to retire it. We've come closer.
Player assistant manager, actually.
Yeah, as a player assistant manager, which.
Do you think he'll play much though?
No, I think he'll play sort of a bipartisan role, and he'll just he'll be there to score well. He's a born winner, If he can't haul Aberdeen to a trophy, at least a League Cup or something, they're a lost cause. If he can't give a rousing speech to inspire them, I think they don't deserve to win anything.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think it's good for him. I mean, potentially there's the option if Glass does shite, gets sacked. Excuse my French. Then Brown could see himself as a manager to a very reputable club.
Yeah, he's signed a 2-year contract, which will start on the 1st of July. Obviously, he'll still be at Celtic for the rest of the season. But he's one, as Marcus said, you thought he would stay at Celtic for the rest of his career, but he's ended up, moving on to a team just below Celtic's level, you'd say, to further his coaching career. Do you reckon it's a loss from Celtic that he's not becoming a coach there?
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's crazy that he's not retained some. They weren't able to offer him any role at all. Like, I mean, there's no bigger club legend at Celtic at the moment, and the fact that they weren't even able to offer him a back role, a coaching role. I mean, they still need a new director of football. Like, I'm not sure quite why they didn't even just youth. I mean, the Celtic are looking for a new youth manager, an assistant manager if they hire a new manager as well. Like, because obviously we're still hunting for a manager. There's a lot that needs done, and I figured they should keep Brown to help ease the transition. But obviously he's made his choice, and he'd like a bit of step away, something new, which is fine. Obviously, he's
he probably just wants to step away, and then I think his aim will be to go back to Celtic though.
Yeah, I mean, like Gerrard, well, I assume has the grand master plan of returning to Liverpool.
Yeah, you'd assume so. Yeah, so it'll be something similar to that.
Yeah, and it is. It's going to be interesting times at Pittodrie for Aberdeen. I think it's going to be quite, it'd be strange to see Derek McInnes not there. I guess, but it'll be also be, a new start, a new regime under Glass and Brown. So
strange or welcome.
I mean, it'd be strange to see change, but I think it's a welcome change, definitely for a club that's kind of stagnated a bit.
I mean, I always said that bar Hibs St Johnstone, Hibs Aberdeen is like the most boring fixture, like on average, that I watch. Like, just as a game of football, it's just so boring to watch.
Yeah, it's the opposite of end-to-end stuff. The ball seems to not move.
Hibs Aberdeen games, it's like under McInnes, like we would batter them for like 30 minutes, have about 16 chances, and then like Aberdeen score from their first chance, and then they just seal it up, and then they win like 1-0, and that's how every Hibs Aberdeen game always goes. I just hate it so much, but hopefully Glass plays some more interesting football. Let's say, but not so well that they'll challenge us first.
Yeah, not so interesting that they might
Yeah,
start
because
to
like
enjoy yourself.
Aberdeen and Hibs right now have got very similar ambitions. Ron Gordon's made it clear that we want to be the third best team in the country and finishing for cups, and they would say something very similar. They want to be the third best team in the country and getting cups as well.
Yeah, only one team can be the third best team in the country. So
yeah,
It's going to be interesting times, though.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's.
and obviously, if Hearts do get promoted, they'll seem to think they can magically jump into that third spot as well. So.
We're a big team. We should be finishing third, even though we've got a championship squad. Sure. Yeah,
We wouldn't go on a championship squad, mate, if they're getting beat by Borough Rangers.
we'll be generous.
The Scottish Highland League squad.
We'll be generous to say like mid League One. How about that?
Yeah.
Kind of middle ground. But I was just going to go back quickly to the international stage because I think we were all really happy last night when the Czech Republic played Wales because Gareth Bale elbowed Kudela in the
I was
face.
so buzzing.
Buzzing.
Yep.
Buzzing.
He's
Good
never
on Bale.
gets. He deserves everything that player gets. I genuinely hope he gets some fracture or something in his next game he plays. I genuinely hope something happens to him.
I mean, I
Honestly.
hope he's learned his lesson that there's absolutely no room for racism in football. And
As much as he denies it, it is so clear. I'm not going to go back on it, obviously. That was a couple episodes ago, but
But
yeah, he deserves what he gets, and Bale loyal, innit?
The great elbow of Justice
Deserves,
was trending on Twitter last night, which was quite funny. But yeah, I think I'll say we're not going to go back on this because we covered it a couple of episodes ago. As you can tell, we're quite.
It's good to see even the Welsh people as well, like folk from Wales are like coming together on this one incident that happened in Scotland.
Well, you have to. I mean, it's a question of
Yeah, there
I
was
know.
there was talk about him being.
I mean, he was
questioned-
making national news.
There was talk about him being questioned by British police or Police Scotland if he played in the UK again.
Yeah.
So it was expected he was next going to come to the UK for the tie with Arsenal, but he's going to be obviously played against Wales. There hasn't been any update from UEFA about any charges against Slavia at all. And
definitely not for you.
Yeah, we were expecting that,
but it was just good to see that that the whole of Britain kind of coming together.
I'm just annoyed at the incident about Bale, right? I'm just annoyed it wasn't like a proper face melt or elbow.
Well, I don't think Bale wanted to get sent off because I don't think he.
I think some people
Why
were even
did
saying
you
it didn't
too
even
happy
look,
to get
didn't look intentional, which was it
That's
didn't-
shocking from Bale. Shocking.
There were contact actually from some angles. So.
Yeah, it didn't look like contact from some angles. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just good to say.
I just want to see if the Island.
Maybe Kudela just put his face in the way of Bale's elbow.
Maybe Bale's able said you effing guy.
You fucking guy. I feel calling somebody a guy is a compliment.
I was saying the Faroe Islands have been really solidly defensive actually. Like
If they score, if Ferran score, we just have to end the episode. It doesn't happen.
Just
yeah,
give up.
we've come really close a few times. We've been peppering their goal. Oh, here's Tierney. Oh, saved. We've been peppering their goal, but they've just had a low block, just fully defensive. And then also they've been getting the ball forward really quickly as well.
Has it been mostly dominant Scotland?
Yeah, we've dominated possession, had all the chances, but whenever they've forward really quickly,
There's
and
been-
they've just been defensively. So
Another UK game, obviously England have been dominant the entire game. It's been
You scored the
Sterling.
penalty, right?
Yeah, penalty, Kane.
All right. 1-0.
Sterling's just pace.
One-
But they've had a few chances though. There's been a few slip ups. From Nick Pope had a few a wee.
I thought Pickford has actually been better this season than he has in previous seasons. I thought he might be getting the shout.
I think he's injured at the moment now. Anyway.
Is he?
But what I wanted to bring up, in fact, was did you guys see Gary Lineker's tweet over the weekend about England versus San Marino, saying that this playing San Marino doesn't offer anything, doesn't offer any excitement. Should be playing.
It offers San Marino fans excitement.
Yeah, there should
Well,
be.
probably not if they're playing England for the 50th time.
The smallest clubs need to be playing. The smallest countries need to be playing like a pre-qualifying tournament to get into qualifying, because playing the smallest teams isn't.
I mean, yeah, but that's just like a pure football elitist mentality, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, last time I checked, England aren't the only national team in the world.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, this is I think I was one of the ones who, this is completely stupid. And even if you do have a pre-qualifying thing, look at Asia, where Mongolia had to qualify for their
right to play
qualifying for their qualifying group, and then got pumped 14-0 by Japan. So like,
Yeah.
oh, that could be a penalty. He's not giving it. Oh, that's a free kick as well.
Who?
He's not giving a penalty to Scotland. Adams has just been. Let me see it again. Hold on. Okay, nah. Actually, that's not a penalty. I've seen it again. Never mind.
quickest change of mind ever.
There's been a penalty, but for who? A penalty shot. Nah. But okay, it's just a throw in. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I think I mean, these smaller countries, they're not going to qualify for a World Cup, but they're going to, they've got a chance.
I'm sure their players love the chance to go to Wembley and stuff like.
Yeah, and like German stadiums and that Allianz or Signal Iduna Park, and like, it's good. I mean, it's international football. Like, it's like it should be just. It shouldn't matter the status of the country or whatever. Like, it's just countries playing each other. Like, just inclusive. Like,
I was always curious why the Gibraltar had a national team, but the Isle of Man or the Channel Islands didn't, despite both being bigger than Gibraltar and sharing the same legal status.
I think it's just to do with the popularity of football and the league infrastructure. So obviously, like Gibraltar have like teams there, like Lincoln Red Imps, whereas I don't think Isle of Man. I mean, maybe they do, but I don't know of like a club system that they've got there. So
yeah,
I don't know.
The Channel Islands have a fully fledged football league. Isle of Man does not. I don't think, at least. But I know the Channel Islands has a. Well, they're not UEFA recognised, but.
Oh no!
Yeah, what were you owing at?
Even if
we're having so many chances. We're having so many chances. Yeah, no, it is odd. Like, I don't know. It's just probably demand to have a national football team. I mean,
yeah.
I think with Guernsey and Jersey, there are a lot of. I don't know whether they see themselves as like.
And the other one that everyone forgets the name of.
The Isle of Man, Guernsey, and Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know if they like. I know there's a lot of people from mainland England that live there.
Yeah.
If their identity is really different, whereas I think with Gibraltar they have a more stark Gibraltarian identity, so maybe that's to do with we want to have our own national.
Yeah, I mean the Spanish language is equal status there. I think it's the only part of the UK that has such.
One of my mum's pals, her family's from Gibraltar, and everyone or most people apparently, unless you're like obviously an expat from the UK, like mainland UK, but everyone there does speak Spanish and English with each other. So, it would be interesting to go. I think we've talked about going over a few times, so that'd be quite interesting.
Yeah.
They got W.H. Smith.
There are quite a few, other places that, probably should have full national teams, but they're, very small populations. UEFA, obviously, the last time they accepted countries was Kosovo and Gibraltar. And
yeah, Kosovo, fair enough, because they're recognised by a lot of countries as.
Although, did you see the thing about so Kosovo are playing Spain tonight? Did you see the video from the pre-match press conference? So Spain don't recognise Kosovo because they think if they recognise Kosovo, then they'll have to recognise Catalonia and the Basque region.
Does Spain recognise Scotland?
Exactly. Exactly, it's just Spain recognised Wales, like that kind of thing.
Exactly. What's the issue? Like Scotland and Wales aren't independent nations, yet they have national teams, and Spain doesn't even have a fuss there. Like whether Kosovo have a team or not, it doesn't.
Well, I think the Spanish traditionally don't like the English, and the enemy of my enemy is my friend, I guess.
Oh well.
I don't think the Spanish-Serbian relations particularly matter too much.
But the Kosovo, like the I think it was the manager who was doing the press conference. He had to, the media weren't even using the Kosovo name. They were just saying, "Oh, the team that Spain play next." They weren't even saying.
Oh, really? That's crazy.
Like the manager had to make them say Kosovo, which was an insane press conference.
I mean, it's majority ruling by UEFA. I mean, if UEFA recognise, I feel like it's ridiculous for the press not to.
Exactly, yeah.
In terms of even politically, sure, but as a footballing country,
yeah, even yeah, I know. Sometimes down in England, Wimbledon don't recognise MK Dons, but they play it as a laugh kind of thing. They just kind of like put Milton Keynes instead of MK Dons on the scoreboard kind of thing, but they don't, say that they're not playing MK Dons kind of thing. It's it's actually wild. But we're going to move on from chat. I think we ran out of things to talk about in the international break. Club football back straight away. But then you guys got a quiz lined up.
Do we?
So,
someone was trying to organise it.
Andy, when was the last time you did a quiz?
I was. Lewis said he'd do this week, so I said I'd do next week after.
Oh, Lewis said he'd do this week, but he's not even joined.
And he's not even on. Yeah.
Great. I think we'll just move on to the prediction. Okay, you've got something.
Celtic hold the record for the most consecutive appearances in League Cup finals. How many was it?
3.
5.
It's a bit higher.
9.
It's a bit higher.
15.
14.
Oh, a bit lower? 14. Marcus
13.
got it.
Yes.
Marcus. 14 League Cup finals in a row in a stretch between the 60s to the 80s.
Wow.
When it was first introduced. Did a bit of a Real Madrid there.
So Marcus wins the quiz. Well done, Marcus.
Okay, well, no, we've had this one before.
We do need to get like a rota or something, like a schedule.
Which manager has won the most Scottish Cups?
I think we've had this one.
No, we've not had this one. We've had League Cups, not Scottish Cups.
John.
Nope.
It's got to be it's a Celtic manager.
It's not Jock Skeen, it's not Walter Smith.
Neil Lennon.
No.
John Kennedy.
No. Come on, he's Scottish managerial legend.
Alan McCoy.
He was a Celtic manager. But
you're asking the question.
What? Why not answer? That's my question. I know the answer. It was Willie Maley.
All right.
And which club holds the record for the longest winning streak in cup final appearances?
Celtic. Is it Celtic again?
No, it's Rangers. You all jumped the gun. Look, I'm not biased with my questions here.
Build up the Celtic questions and then trying to hit us with a...
Here's one to hurt Sam and Marcus. Between 1902 and 2016, how many cup finals did Hibs lose?
10.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Next question. Let's not dwell on it.
You can let us sit in that now, aren't you? Before you can't find a new question.
Right. Arbroath hold the record win of 36-0 over Bonaccord in 1885. On the same day, Dundee beat Aberdeen, but by what score?
18-0. So
no, it's higher.
It's like 22-0 or something.
Bigger.
Yeah, but this was like back in the 1800s.
This was 1885 on the same day, so it's
29.
27.
Is it 30-0?
It's higher.
Is it 31?
Higher.
37.
No, lower.
35.
35-0.
I thought 31 was the highest.
No, 38 was the high. I said it was 38.
Oh, I thought it was 31.
35. And one to round it off. Nice 5 questions. Which of these teams has the Scotland's men's football team never played?
Okay.
So, Egypt, Paraguay, Turkey, or Andorra?
Andorra.
Paraguay.
Andorra, you're right, Kyle.
Oh.
Ooh. I thought they got them once or twice in qualifying, but
I
no.
just got a Scotland question right. Come on.
Wait, what is this? The Rangers fan getting a Scotland question right? Who's this?
You know what? Apparently, they did a survey and they found that like a majority of Scotland fans are actually also like Ranger supporters because they wanted to see like which clubs made up like what percentage of the average attendance for Scotland games.
And which club does Scotland have the best international record against, other than England?
Oh, best records.
Israel.
No,
No.
it's we're due to play them soon.
Oh, Czech Republic.
Nope,
Denmark.
Denmark. Yeah,
Oh.
Denmark are Scotland's most favourable opponents across history. They were the first team we played
that wasn't.
a
Yeah.
UK based
Well,
team.
that means we're qualified from the World Cup then.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully.
Get in. Off to Qatar we go. I think we should move on to the predictions because
I actually forgot to announce. No, I've got the ones right. Okay, it's fine. I was going to say last week's, but then I've just finished these.
Who
Anyway.
won the quiz, by the way?
So
Marcus
obviously-
won it with 4, and Kyle got 1.
It's clearly you, Marcus. Are you just trying to say that or something?
Marcus is just a quiz sweat because he just.
No, he's also the sweat in this as well.
Because I can guess numbers quicker than any is.
So obviously we've still got one game still in motion that we predicted. So I'll give an update on that one next week. But it's looking pretty decent for at least 1 point each because we all get Scotland to win for that one.
All right.
But it was interesting, gentlemen, to say the least. Very interesting.
it's an interesting game. So I think
Yeah, some interesting games to predict. So I'll start off with the loser. The loser is Lewis with 5. Even that's still really good. That's still decent.
Yeah.
He did get one prediction right, and he got the. I don't even know who that is now. It was the weird one.
what the Saudi Arabia Kuwait one.
Yeah. Saudi Arabia Kuwait one. He got that correct. He got 4 points for that, and then he got 1 for Northern Ireland and USA. And then in place before him, in third, we have Sam.
Hey.
And Sam, you got one prediction correct. You got the Scotland game correct.
Hey.
Which one? The
you
Israel one.
Everyone,
negative Nancy.
one
Wow.
each, sure. And then you also managed to get a point for the England San Marino game by guessing 9-1. And then
You're a bit ambitious. You're not the Belgium.
Yeah. And then he also got a point for Bulgaria Italian game as well. Guessed 4-1 up to Italy on that, and obviously they won 2-0.
Did he get a
And
point
then
for Portugal Serbia as well? Because that was a draw.
no, it was ended 3-2 Serbia.
No,
it
it ended 2-2 because Portugal.
It did. I read that
Ronaldo's
wrong.
goal was ruled out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You do. So actually, you're now drawn with Marcus.
Hey, get in.
So
Marcus, you also got 7 as well. So you got the Scotland Israel correct as well, Marcus.
Yeah.
And then you got 1 point for the weird game, the Kuwait game. Yeah, a point for the USA Northern Ireland game, and 1 point for the Italian game. And then the winner is myself. And I actually got 2 games correct.
Oh.
But I got them scores
Spot on.
right. Yeah. So I guessed England San Marino, I guessed 5-0 for that. And it was 5-0, 4 points. And the Bulgaria Italian game 2-0, and I get 4 points for that, and it was 2-0. So quite lucky for myself. So I'm going to now
What
add
did
them up.
Andy get?
I didn't give any predictions.
I
You
always
did.
forget to.
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
I screenshotted them and sent them to you.
Oh, Kyle, per effort
That's poor for my end. I'll need to get them up, and I'll
I forgot I
update
did.
you later.
Not gonna lie.
I'll update you later. And if Sam, you want to put a wee thing at the end, I don't know. It's up to you. I'll just start them next week. I'll get them next week. I completely forgot that you handed in results because I'm just so used to you not handing in results, Andy. But yeah, no, I will update that. You're probably still
should
laugh,
see me
Andy,
with my
with your
homework.
realistic results.
I'm a realist. Yeah, I probably came top, right? So we can just say that.
I'm not gonna let you take that top spot from me, mate. But I need to add them all up. So far, Marcus, you'll have 28.
Yep.
I currently have. I can't do it maths.
Quick maths.
I will have 26.
2 plus 2 is 4, minus 1 is equals that.
The block. Smoke trees.
7. You're on 20 as well now, Sam.
Oi.
Lewis, not so much, my man.
Lewis 9, right?
Yeah, season 14.
Oh, no, you got 5, alright. And Andy 2.
And Andy's on a dire 2.
Decent, I'll take
Oh,
that.
so we still got the Scott
Better than
game to
Hearts,
add up
better
as
than
well,
Hearts.
so
We'll
we'll
have
get
got
that next week.
more points.
You probably got more points this week than you have out of all of them so far.
Ever. at 2. So you still got to catch up with Lewis, and he's on 14. But if you get some of these right, it's quite poor from my end. Forgot to add them in. I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
You can keep me updated.
I will do, man.
But this weekend it's the return of the Scottish Cup for the first time. Well, actually, no. I was going to say for the first time this year, but then they played like last week, didn't they? But this is where the Premiership teams come in. And there's a lot of big games this weekend, across the entire weekend, in fact. But we start on Friday night in the Highlands. It's Ross County versus Inverness.
I'm going to kick us off, I think, with this one.
Yeah.
You expect Ross County to win. They've found the bit of form of this season. They've been really hard to beat, especially up in Dingwall.
The Dingwall Derby.
Yes, I am going to go for. I think it'll be comfortable for Ross County. I'm going to go for 2-0. Ross County.
I think there'll be goals. I mind a couple of years ago, I think they drew each other in the Scottish Cup. And they had a 2-2 in Dingwall in the Derby, and then 2-2 in Inverness.
Mm-hmm.
So based off of just that, I think that I don't think it'll be as tight, because back then they were both championship teams.
Mm.
So yeah, I think Ross County will get better than. It'll be 3-1 though. 3-1 County.
I think this one's going to be a close one because Inverness, they're going pretty strong in the Championship. Ross County, they're at the bottom of the Premiership. They've had a few good results, but mostly missed and hit. So I'm going to go for Ross County 3-2.
Oh.
Do you know if this is on any channel? No.
Well, you know what? Since I'm a bit of a realist, I'm going to go Cali
dear.
Thistle 3-2.
Oh my god.
Oh.
If we on BBC Scotland tomorrow night. Oh, no, Friday night, sorry.
BBC Scotland or BBC Alaba?
Aren't Hearts on the Friday night?
It's
Yeah, we're not including them.
I'd like to predict that.
Yeah, I like to
Yeah, I'd like to give my thoughts on the big team, quote unquote.
Yeah, let's add it to the list. There's quite. Actually, no, they played Saturday, 3rd of April.
I've been unfair. Dunfermline are a big team, so yeah, the big team. I'll give my thoughts on them.
Yeah, that's
This
on
played
Saturday.
RSP,
Dunfermline. At Dunfermline. I'll add that on there. So that's one of the Saturday 3 o'clock kickoffs. Dunfermline versus Hearts.
Well, that got moved. That got
and
moved.
Dunfermline is the home team.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
iced in.
Okay. Cool. Just so I
In
know.
the Championship.
Okay.
I think it's the most we've covered on the Championship in the entire history of the pod.
Yeah.
Well, there were some funny goings on, eh? So.
Some shenanigans.
Dunfermline 2-0, that's all I have to say.
Okay.
2-1 Dunfermline. Yeah, live in BBC Scotland on this is on Twitter.
This is a league game, isn't it?
It's the league game, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for 2 each.
Oh, yeah. That's a realistic.
That's realist. Andy, that's a realist result.
Well, and the big team are dropping points as well. So
Love how none of us predicted Hearts to win there. I mean, Andy could.
I mean, why would you?
Since I'm so kind, I think I'll predict Hearts to only lose 1-0.
I love these predictions sometimes. Right.
I've picked quite a few games for the Scottish Cup. Saturday at 12:15, also on BBC, it is Dumbarton versus Aberdeen.
Ooh.
2-0 Aberdeen. Surely,
Yeah,
they
I was going to say 2-0 as well.
surely they can't screw this up.
Never know.
You never know.
I mean, Andy seems to be pretty right with predictions quite clearly, so we'll see what he says.
Pretty expert with mine, must say.
It's not even that. You just don't give your predictions in, but
Maybe one day.
hopefully, mate. Hopefully. What are we saying, guys?
I'm gonna say there's gonna be a shock, and it's gonna be Dumbarton 1-0.
Ooh. Okay.
Glass out.
Has he started, no?
No, he's not at a game yet.
This will be his
Because
first
obviously he
game.
came. They announced him in the international break.
When Scott Brown comes in, like end of the season, or
No. He's taken over now.
right. Okay.
But Scott, so he's announced as the manager, but Scott Brown is joining when obviously Celtic.
All right. Okay.
runs out.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
In the meantime, they've got who they have assistant then.
Right. Realist.
Flo Canberry is assistant. Oh dear.
Realist Andy, what's your prediction?
I still think Aberdeen should have the goods and win 1-0.
Cool.
There's quite a few Saturday 3:00 kickoffs, but we're going to go for the shocks for the last round. Borough Rangers, and they play Stranraer.
I love Borough Rangers to bits, so I'll go. Is it at Stranraer?
It's at Borough.
It's at Brora. I'm gonna go 2-1 Brora. Same result as the last round. 2-1 Brora.
Mm-hmm.
A fun fact about this game: they played each other back in 2017 in the cup, and Borough won 1-0 at Stranraer. So I'm gonna copy that and say 1-0 Borough.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go.
Right. Maybe.
My instant thought was 2-1, same with Marcus. And I probably should mix up because I don't want to have the same result as you again, Marcus. So I'm going to go same result as Sam. I'm going to say 1-0.
I'm going to go for. I don't know actually. I think Brora should 1-0 it. No backing behind that thought. Just I'm saying it.
Yeah.
Not a thought behind my eyes.
So the next game I've picked is Forfar Athletic, and they play Edinburgh City.
Oh, Monmouth City. You know what? It'll be
5-0, won't it? 5-0 the City.
Did you pick these, Sam, just because they're so hard to predict?
Yeah.
These are tough
That's
ones.
why I picked Saudi Arabia Kuwait last week.
Yeah.
It does make it interesting.
I thought the Saudis were better than the Kuwaitis.
Oh, what do I say? I want City to win.
But will they, though?
City.
Wait, what league are they in? What leagues are they in?
So
City,
League
Forfar
Two.
League 1 and City League 2.
like-
Yeah, so Forfar League
City
1.
League 2.
from having followed them somewhat over the past few years, they do tend to put out like teams from higher divisions out in the cups. Like the season that Arbroath ran away with League One, City went up there and beat them 4-1, I think. Yeah, 4-1 up at Gayfield. So, and like I said, that was a season that Arbroath were like absolute running riot in League One. So, I think City won 3-0.
There's only 3 places between these guys because Forfar were bottom of League 1 and Edinburgh City are second in League 2. So I'm going to say Edinburgh City 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, on form, you'd like to think that these upsets happen. So actually,
Yeah.
I'm going to say Edinburgh City 3-0.
Well, I mean, this round we've had a few upsets for one.
I
Yeah.
really don't know. So you said 3-0, Marcus, yeah?
I think it'll be 3-0, say.
Who else said 3-0?
That's a 3-0 as well, yeah.
I said 3-0 City. I said 5-0 City, didn't I?
Alright, Mon Clark, get in this
Stick
one.
a 5-5 on it, why not?
What,
Yeah.
a cup game?
So you're all, yeah,
I
exactly.
want us to win.
So you all think 3-0?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go the opposite. I'm gonna say 4-5 will win this 1-0.
Oh, boo.
Fuck the City.
You're just a hater.
It's another one that's got an upset written all over it. It's Full Martin versus Motherwell.
Who?
Full Martin
Full
United versus Motherwell.
1-0 Motherwell. Yes, 2-0.
Hey.
John McGinn again.
John
I told you
McGinn.
he scores. He's got like a 1 and 2 goals per game for Scotland. It's ridiculous.
I think that's 10 goals for Scotland he's on now.
Yeah, he's fucking insane.
Oh, I love John McGinn to bits. Yeah, 1-0 Motherwell though. They'll make hard work yet, but they'll still get through.
I'm gonna say 3-0. Motherwell.
I'm going to say 4-0 Motherwell.
Wow.
I was gonna say 3-0 Motherwell.
Wow.
As much as there could be an upset.
Nah.
Can't see it.
Mm.
Sam, what'd you say? 3-0?
I said 4-0.
4-0. Okay. Oh my god, what's happening here? Oh no. That's fine.
Another game on
Oh my
Saturday.
God.
We've got Livingston and they play Wraith Rovers, which could be a really interesting
Oh.
game.
Oh, I'm gonna say 2-2.
You do know it has to finish on the night. There's no
Yeah.
replays.
Oh, really?
I don't think there is. There wasn't
Oh.
in the last round, so I don't think
Oh.
there is.
Yeah,
no,
there's no replays.
It'll be 2-2, and then, why not? Wraith will get the third goal in extra time.
You're saying
That's
3-2.
Okay, I'll put this.
Yeah,
So
it's going to be a massive shock.
after extra time. Okay.
And I'm not basing this on anything other than Jamie Gullen's on loan at Wraith, so I want them to do well.
3-2. Yeah.
After extra time, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Full time.
I'm going to say
I have to predict a draw at some point.
2-1 Wraith.
Really?
Yeah.
But sure. Why do you think that?
I just think that Wraith are a good team and they're just going to beat Livingston, who haven't really been on the best of form recently.
Best analysis.
Fair enough.
I just think they're a good team.
I think Livingston will win 2-0. 2-1. Yeah, 2-1.
And it.
Yeah, Livy to win 2-1.
Bear in mind, is it the mac and cheese shack?
Yeah, it's at home. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Tony
so it'll be
Macaroni.
tough for Wraith.
Spaghetti Ad, yeah.
Tony Smackaroony.
Okay, so Andy.
I said 2-1.
Oh, did you? Oh my bad.
Yeah.
To Livy.
Livy, aye.
Yeah, cool.
We've also got Stenhouse Muir and they play Kilmarnock.
4-1 Kelly.
Yeah, I think it was 3-0. Kelly.
1-0 Killy. I think they're going to struggle.
Kyle Lafferty's on good form the now, so he'll get a few.
1-0. Yeah, 1-0. Andy.
Yeah, I think Kelly could score a couple, so 2-0 Kelly.
Oh.
What's happened? Are Poland getting in the game?
Poland could have a penalty. Handball on Maguire.
Hey!
Oh, Chilwell, sorry. Yeah, I think it's going to VAR.
They don't have Leva to score.
Oh,
it,
no,
though.
it's not. No, it's not.
No penalty? Alright.
It looked a penalty, though.
We've
I've
just
done
got
that.
3 more games to get through. On Saturday night at 7:30, we've got Celtic versus Falkirk.
3-0 to the Glasgow Hibernian.
3-0, Marcus, you say, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
They're
gonna,
gonna be-
I'm gonna say.
Hibs.
I'm gonna say
I think Hibs to squeak it 2-1.
Hibs. You mean Celtic?
It's your team that's playing Falkirk,
Yeah.
Andy.
Wait, I thought we were talking about the Hibs game. Oh, Celtic Falkirk. Celtic will win 3-0.
It's the Glasgow branch of Hibs. So.
I
It's
thought we
the
were talking
second
about
time
Hibs.
you've got mixed up between who.
Shut up! I thought we were talking about Hibs.
So you know how this prediction has been a lot about upsets, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no,
I'm gonna go 2-0 Falkirk.
Kyle, come on.
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
3-1
Upset.
Celtic. 3-1 Celtic.
3-0 Celtic.
3-1 Celtic for me. Do you think Falkirk are going to win just out of spite, or
Yeah, I think
just
they'll win.
genuinely think
Celtic
they're
are
going to win?
Celtic are shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
but we're not worse than
Falkirk will win
Falkirk.
it. Falkirk will win it.
Falkirk are a League One side.
Yeah, Celtic are playing like a League One side. Oh
Well,
shit!
Talking about League One side, Rangers are playing one on
One
Sunday.
each.
Hey!
Fucking
Rangers-
goaltending from Maguire.
Rangers.
Harry Maguire. Yeah, I did tell you about Maguire. I've been saying all the time you shouldn't be starting for England.
No, it wasn't Maguire. It was actually
Oh,
Stones.
was it? Let me see who got.
Rangers will be playing Cove Rangers in the Rangers derby.
This is the result we want.
You know what? Because it's been a weekend of upsets, I think Cove are going to win.
Okay,
Kyle.
fair enough.
How do you like it, Kyle?
It's your prediction, man. You're throwing away points.
nah. It's going to be 5-0 Rangers. That's my prediction.
I'm going to say 7-0 Rangers.
Oh.
1-0 Cove Rangers. 1-0 Cove Rangers to win on it in penalties. Cove to win on penalties.
Wait, what did you say, Sam? Sorry, before I get to Andy.
I said 7-0 Rangers
7-0.
just because I think Gerrard's going to put out his full squad and they're going
I
to go
don't think
insane.
I don't think it will. 1-1, Andy. Yeah.
1-1 Cove to win it on penalties.
Well, this weekend's all about upsets.
What is doing upsets? No, Cove Rangers, the real Rangers.
Oh my god. Right. Okay.
And
You
I've
know,
got-
if the week's about upsets, I should have changed my result to Hearts winning because that would have been the real upset.
on Monday.
Oh, what a goal! Oh, Che Adams has just scored a beautiful.
Hey, first goal for Scotland. Lovely stuff.
That is beautiful. It's one of those, it's like a daisy cutter, like one of those like beautiful, lovely, love it. 3-0 Scotland. Only 3 more till I get my prediction right for this game. So
On Monday night, it is Queen of the South, and they play Hibs.
oh,
I've not
this
given
is
my
the Hibs
prediction
game,
for the
yeah,
Rangers
so-
game. I've not given my prediction for the Rangers game.
Have you not?
You'll say
No.
you'll win 5-0, so who cares?
Actually, was good at 5 now.
Andy's better at predicting other people's predictions than his actual
That is
predictions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shambolic.
But yeah, Monday
So what's
night,
the last game? Sorry.
Queen of the South versus Hibs.
right.
Upsets, guys. Remember.
I'll go last. I'll let you guys hear you guys thoughts first.
Yeah. I think Hibs will win. And I think Hibs will win 3-0.
Not every Edinburgh team will get papped. Papped by Queen of the South,
I think Hibs will win, but they'll make it difficult, so it'll be 2-1.
as we always do.
Yeah.
And
I think Hibs should win 3-1.
Marcus, you want to get a full in depth?
Right.
No, I just think Hibs will score 3 goals.
I also think that as well. We can agree on something.
I think we'll rest. Oh no, because it's the Monday night. I was going to say we might rest a few players from the international games, but I think Monday night should be alright to play like Marciano and all that. So, we will make it tough. Sam is right. We will make it tough for ourselves. I don't see them scoring. So I'll just say 2-0. It's going to be a workmanlike performance. It's going to be one where a lot of diagonal balls from Hanlon, a lot of those, a lot of Martin Boyle skying set pieces, one of those games. But we'll nick it in the end 2-0. Martin Boyle will probably score another penalty, and I want Deutsch to continue his scoring run. So 2-0. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually surprised we've stretched this pod this long, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised as well, to be honest.
We've got over an hour for somehow we've done it. But I think that is it for tonight. Thank you guys for listening, and thank you guys for joining me today. We'll see you again
Cheers.
next week.
You're welcome.
Guys.
So I'm going to say it.
Say what?
Cue the tune.
Hear the tunes.
Oh.
Roll the music.
The False 90s podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Podbean, and our website at false90s.wordpress.com. For updates, follow False 90s on both Twitter and Instagram. And a big thank you to Fransisco Aluear and his track Space Game, which is our theme tune.
Oh, penalty England.
All right.
In the public game.
Stirling got put down in the box.
Put down, did he?
Yeah. He was running in, classic Stirling, and then got taken out. Yeah, definitely penalty.
Sniper in the stands.
No fans on the stand.
Easiest to spot, and then
That's much from outside.
Snipers are hidden though. That's the whole point of having a sniper.
Yeah.